Love you, Leeds. Leeds. We certainly do, Theo. Hello, welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds for your Leeds versus Luton Town review. Oh, what a day. What a day. Yeah, if you're new here, please subscribe if you haven't already. Smash a like on the video. Be much appreciated. And let's get into this. Let's see a few comments I've got to start with. Mark Sutherland, evening, mate. Pascal saved your wishes. Or my 3-1 would have been bang on, look. Right game. Yeah, it would have been, mate. Yeah, he won't far off there, buddy. I didn't see him scoring. I were right, but there were definitely a few moments that we'll touch on, and that was probably the biggest one, wasn't it? 100%. Danny Talksport, hey up, Danny, thanks for being here as always, buddy, you're a star. Smash a like and subscribe, please. Yep, I echo that. Danny says we said 3-0, which isn't like me. It's not, mate. Can you say that every week, please? Can you say that every game, please? Because you're normally quite close. So why call 2-1s when you can do it with 3-0? So we'll take that from now on, Danny. Yeah, fantastic. Callum's in as well. These Leeds are falling apart again. Yeah, they are. Apparently they are, Callum. So yeah, let's get into this. Absolutely buzzing. But let's start where we should do, and that was at the lineup. Not many changes. Obviously, the big one, Nonto coming back in, James coming out. I didn't see that happening. I didn't see James coming out. But with the rotation and with the talent we've got, there's no denying any one of those four wingers can start for me, and I'm sure you'd all agree. Ramazani looked brilliant when he came back on, which we'll touch on as well towards the end. But yeah, Nonto starting out on the right is his favoured position, I'd say. Now I always thought it was the left, but James keeps James hungry, and we know what happened towards the end of the game, don't we? But yeah, just not like I say, not many changes. I expected Joseph to start. I said that I sort of didn't see Pirro starting again after Swansea. I kind of feel like he's a bit, he doesn't have the impact starting. How wrong were I? This game was one of his best games in a Leeds shirt for me. I thought it was outstanding. Pirro, I think he justified his position. I feel like he was backing into big, strong, physical defenders and putting himself about, and his link-up play were better. I've looked at some passing stats today, and he didn't lose a ball much. The passing accuracy of the side, I think we're up at 92%. I think all in all, it was a really good performance by Gil Pirro, and I stand corrected on that. I'm a massive advocate for Joseph starting and Pirro coming on, and that might have changed my mind that last night. It really might have done. I'm coming round to the thought of Pirro maybe as a starter rather than a bench option, which is what I've sort of touched on for a while now, and you can't argue with it with his performance last night. And if that ball drops to him in that area, he's going to bury it, and he did. And yeah, I'm so happy for him. And the goal scoring streak sort of continues. He's in a hot streak at minute. If he doesn't score in one game, he tends to get one in the next one. He don't go too long without a goal. I think his G&A combined now is doing one of them every 90 minutes. So it can't go wrong. I thought he was outstanding, and Farker made the right call in keeping him in there and not listening to stupid YouTubers like me. Have a look at this. Seaside Steve, hey up, Dan, you all right? Hey up, mate. Thank you, mate, for being here. Evening all. Hey up, Top Banana, hope you well. Are you not entertained? Yeah. Honestly, that's my new favourite quote after Daniel Dubois did it at the boxing. Are you not entertained? I was entertained yesterday for sure. It will be 2-1 for Saturday. Why have you got to do it, Danny? Why can't you just say 6-0? That's a good evening, Tom. Nice to see chat getting on. Nice. Well, they always do on my channel, to be fair. Banana. 2-0 Leeds on Saturday. That's more like it. I don't see us conceding at all in any game. I know it's ridiculous because you're going to concede in games, even away from home. I just sort of look at every game. I don't think I've tipped as to concede a goal since I've had a YouTube channel. I don't think I have anyway. It's crazy, really. I've just got so much faith in this team and so proud of them, and I absolutely love them. Let's go. He's coming out with all chance, Callum. I've got an image, Callum. You're just doing that in your house while you're typing it in. CSAS TV, Dan. Hope you and the family are good. Andy Rowe. Hi, Matty. Does not have a tendency to ball watch occasionally. What does Willie do off the ball? To be fair, he works really hard. It works really hard. Obviously, I'm at the top of the East, so I get a good view, but it works really hard off the ball. Obviously he has moments where petulance comes into his game, which I don't think he does much this season, to be honest. I don't want to generalize that, but just off the eye test alone, I'm not massive on stats really, apart from, a few obvious ones. But yeah, he works hard. He really does work hard. If he's got that bit between his teeth, which he did yesterday, you know, that goal at the end of the Swansea game definitely gave him that bite to his performance yesterday. And he started that first half like house on fire, absolute house on fire. He was outstanding. One of the best players, if not the best player for me in that opening 45. He was dropping short and wanting the ball and driving with the ball and bypassing the press or bypassing anyone that was around him at the time. And he looked really, really good, did Nonto. So no, I reckon he works. I reckon he works really well off the ball, mate. I really do. Obviously, some of these flair players, these attacking players, you know, occasionally don't do that. But for me, I think Willie Nonto's got the right attitude, and I think in this team, you've got to be able to do both, haven't you, Andy? You can't just go forward, otherwise you won't be in team 2 minutes. For me, you've got to be able to do the dirty side of stuff as well. Mark Sutherland, you'll win 2-1 on Saturday as well. You enjoy these conceding goals, don't you? You don't have much faith in that back line, considering we just get clean sheet after clean sheet stuff. Honestly, way good up. You're well. Yeah, it's really nice to see chat getting on. Because Blackburn will be a hard game. Yeah, maybe, mate. They've just gone to Sunderland and won away, haven't they? So, yeah, I don't see it. You know me. 7-0. Yeah, Richard. He's on my notes. He's Byram. I tell you what, I'm going to jump straight in with Byram. I know, a few content creators have touched on him, and all I'm going to say is I'll put it out there. I've been on the Byram train from the very beginning when everyone wrote him off. And everyone said he's just a bit part player, and I get that's his role. He's got so much more to offer than just that. You know, if it weren't for fitness, he could be a starting left back or right back in this division, 100%. If it wasn't for fitness, the way he plays, his actual general ability, he could start in the Championship for any side, you know, at all. And it's one of them where, because of his fitness issues over his career, really, he's not been able to really, be in a position to challenge Fairport to start at left back. If you look at it like that, it's his role is to just fill in when needed and see games out and come on, and he's accepting of that role. He ain't on big money. We got him as a free transfer. It was such a low risk transfer from training with us to get his fitness up, knowing Farker, to winning a contract and being there ever since. And the start of last season, if we're honest, he was on fire. Let's not forget. Beginning of last season, we didn't know what Fairport we were going to have in this league. We really didn't. It'd gone from being very poor in Premier League, and everyone thinking, yeah, it's a drop down in quality, but I don't think he's up to it in this division either. And Byram, really, that first month, maybe 5-6 games of last season, I thought Byram was probably his best player. For that opening month, when everything was turgid, don't get me wrong, and we were struggling, and with all that off the field sort of palaver going on, granted, but he stood up and he was probably his best player for that first month of last season. And yeah, unbelievable. He stepped in again when needed. I say a left back and right. How many players can play left back and right back to such a high level? Not many. Not many. And it's not like he's good with both feet. He ain't a wing back who can play really with both feet, although we've seen him in the last 2 games, he scored a goal, but then he obviously assisted with his left foot on Sunday. But yeah, that's an assist and a goal in his last 2 games from left back. I loved yesterday how he was sort of inverting, and when we was in possession, he was moving into midfield. And that must have been a Farker tactic, that were obvious. I was plain to see that for everyone, it would overlap and it would underlap, and it would also tuck it in and, adding to that midfield. And you had Strauch, and he was sort of covering centre half and Byram on that left hand side for what he needed to cover, because there weren't much coming in that direction, to be honest, for quite a while in that game. But Byram's just outstanding. He gives you a threat from set pieces because he's good in air, despite him not being the tallest. And his biggest worry is always his fitness, and he's been very fit for us. He's been very dependable when we've had him in. It's not like we've needed Byram, we've had to call upon Byram to play, and he's been out for a period of time. That's just not happened. He's been brilliant. I can't speak highly enough of him. I think he's outstanding, and a bold claim. I'd give him another contract for Premier League maybe when we go up. Not to start. Not to even maybe be second choice, but maybe as a third choice. Left back, right back, can cover 2 positions. I'd have him in there. Experience, he knows Leeds. I always think the mental side of games not spoke about enough. And when you get someone who gets a long injury layoff like a Gruev, imagine the knowledge and the support someone like Byram can give him in background. The stuff we don't see. Someone like Byram who's been riddled with big injuries all his career. He hampered his career for such a talent, when he left Leeds. He's had a good career, don't get me wrong, he's been in Premier League, but he's had a long layoffs, several times in his career. For the money he's on, can you argue? Even just having him around, bloody playing cards in background, I'm not asked, but like when he's called upon on the pitch, whether he'd be able to do that in Premier League, I don't know, but you're only talking a handful of games, really, aren't you? Because if we keep Firpo, which hopefully we do on that left-hand side, we've got to go get another left-back to challenge Firpo, maybe even be better than Firpo, and then Byron might become third choice, fourth choice, but it's fine. If we offer him a contract next season, no matter what the role is, I would assume he'd sign at dotted line. Although for me, if he's fit for a sustained period of the time, he's good enough for any title challenging championship side for me. I think he's that good, and I've said it all season. And a lot of people are saying it now. I've seen your Connors, your Joes, all the big YouTubers have been talking about him today, and rightly so. Or been talking about him for the last few weeks. And yeah, I've been banging that drum since the start of last season. I think he's one of the best signings Farke's made since he's been here, and he costs no, and that's the reason why he's so good. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up, mate. Blackburn will be hard, but 1 goal each half. Callum, favourite player is Dan James. Wow, yeah, it's hard not to like Dan James, and he's unbelievable. And we, as a club, treat him like shit as well. And yeah, he just gives more than 100%. Done. He's outstanding. Byron and Solomon interchange, covered each other. Yeah, I think when you look at that left hand side, to say that is not, that's, I don't want to say reserved, but it's like your second string left hand side, isn't it? Firpo and Ramazani, you'd assume. Or, if Ramazani's out, you might have thought even Nonto can push for that if James stays on right. But a Byram and Solomon combination on that left, it's not something I would have expected to see much of, but due to injuries and stuff. And now Solomon's played himself through that rough patch really now, and I think it's going to be really hard to take Solomon out after last night. I think he was absolutely outstanding. Mez deserves his flowers of last night. Yeah, I'm going to touch on him towards the end, mate. 100% he does, Danny, you're right. I always thought it was a lame excuse bringing on Pirro later on. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that, mate. I just always, I think the stats backed it up. That was my point. Was when you looked at the games when he came on, he made an impact and he scored goals. Whereas there've been a lot of games where he started this season where it wasn't working, and the impact of Joseph weren't the same off the bench. But yeah, like I say, I'm not going to touch too much on the Pirro and Joseph debacle now, because I feel like after last night, yeah, it might be set for a while now. Rafa was my man of match. Can't argue with that. There were several. There weren't a bad player. There were everyone were right up there last night. I feel like it's first game this season. Everybody's performed like it an 8 out of 10. Everyone. Oh, Danny said there. You never are less than 7 out of 10 with Barry. Me not. I think they were all 8 out of 10s and a couple of 9s, maybe a 10 in there as well. Last night were outstanding. We need a left foot at left back. Yeah, you've always got to tuck inside and play with your right, and you're never going to have that full ability that a left footer can have on that side. We had a left side there with 2 right footers, but I tell you what, they didn't half play well last night. Like I say, it's not going to be a long-term thing with them too, is it? But outstanding last night. It was so good. That left edge was brilliant. But that's why I thought Woba was okay last night with being left footed. Yeah, to be fair, mate, it surprised me. I'm not a massive Woba fan. He come on out of position, didn't he? And he looked okay. Because I don't think he's got much pace, to be fair. But he came on, and what I liked about him, because he had that left foot, Danny. Every time there was a chance to put the ball in the box, he didn't. He won a couple of corners for us. He don't have to cut back inside. He's on his natural foot. Hit it first time, and there were a couple of times he tried cutting it back. Can I just say Gary Speed? Yeah, Mark, that was very touching, that, mate. It was brilliant in that 11th minute. All the crowd, go to the feet and the chant for him. And to be fair, it went on a lot longer than a minute, and then it happened a few more times through the game as well. And I don't know if you know, Mark, a stat come out today. Well, happened last night, but I heard it today saying that Dan James scored his 20th Leeds goal last night, and he's the first Welsh player to hit 20 goals for Leeds since Gary Speed did. Like, what a night to get it on his anniversary of his death. So yeah, that was really touching. It makes me like Dan James even a little bit more if that's even possible. But yeah, it really touching, mate. Anything Gary Speed related, with Leeds United, it really hits home, and it touches a nerve. And yeah, we always do, don't we? Leeds always, as a club, as a fan base, we always do things right. Whenever there's an anniversary of a tragic event. Even for opposition sides, we do it the right way. We're a family club, and for all this dirty Leeds tag and how much we're hated around the country by certain parts of the country. We do things right as a club, and you know it showed that last night, and he'll always be remembered. Top guy, top player. Evening, gents. Say up on the Leeds Bros. Hope you're well. Hope you're feeling better, Darren, after a rough week, mate. Top banana, completely agree, Danny. Andy wrote, contrary to what some say, if we get back to the Premier League, I think 6 or 7 upgrades would suffice. Yeah, I don't think it'll be that many. Just because I don't think we'll lose that many. If you get me, you know what I mean? I think the squad as it is now, I think there's a lot of them players that are playing now who will be with us. I think we'll flush out a bit of deadwood who aren't currently playing. But yeah, I mean, I'd take 6 or 7 on the 100%. You know, you need it to be really competitive. It needs to be a bigger squad because, you know, we are probably still a couple of numbers less than what you'd want for a competitive Premier League season. But I'd like him to back the side what's got us up there. Like I say, you bring 6 or 7 in. I don't see where they're going to. I think keeper, left back, 10 striker. So I can see 4, but then like you see, I out far off 6 there, and a couple of squad fillers as well. I'd like us to sign Rothwell on a permanent, if I'm honest, and we do that a lot with us loans. We had it with Ben White. We had a few people. What's his face last season from Burnley to sign at right back, which I want to ask for. But yeah, we tend to do with a lot of us loans, don't we? You know, we get them in, they do well, and then you want them. And Rothwell's no different. I'd have Rothwell as a squad player, bench option in Prem any day of the week. Darren, guess the test stream didn't work. It did, Danny. Much better layouts coming soon. See what else is being said. Yeah, I know something. Myself and Dillon are live at 8. Yeah, everyone go along to all the Leeds Bros 8. About 8:15, 8:15. Go check them out. I think he should have taken the free kick regarding Woba. Yeah, I tell you what, free kicks and set pieces. I'm quite liking Rothwell on corners, should I say, on set piece. I'm quite liking Rothwell. I think his delivery is really good. I just think sometimes as a team within boxes, we're not too sure on how to attack them, to be honest. But I think Rothwell's delivery, he had a couple what didn't beat first man, but you know, we are getting quite a lot of corners at the minute with how many shots we're having and how many chances we're creating. But I do feel like he's doing really well with his set pieces. I'm 31. I think Bardon will struggle with playing Wednesday and Saturday. Playing Saturday to Saturday, a bit more favourable. Yeah, exactly, Mark, 100%. You think at minute, you know, he's been asked to back up some big minutes. He's played, I think, 5 in a row, definitely 4 in a row. And yeah, like you say, he's just played Sunday, Wednesday, like you say, and Premier League Saturday to Saturday, and he probably isn't going to play 2 games in a row anyway if we do go up. But I don't see a world where we go up as champions, Bardon playing a decent part as a squad rotation. I don't see a world where we don't. Offer him a contract at 31, like you say, he's still got a bit to offer, and the role he'd be expected to do in the Premier League, he'd probably be a backer player than he is now. You know, like his second fiddle now, he'd probably be third fiddle, and like I say, I think he'd be fine with that. But what he gives you is he gives you so much more than just what you see on the pitch. Does Byron? Keeper, left back. Rothwell will be gone for me, so we'll need covering striker and a 10. Yeah, it's interesting to see what'll happen in January, isn't it? I've seen bits today saying we're after, what's the lad from Brentford, Carvalho. I don't know how true that is. I know Joe dismissed that earlier and said that won't happen. But I know Joe covered it. Connor's covered it, so he obviously knows more about fires. There's something there. Whether I think we need cover or not in any position, you know, don't really matter. You know, but I don't think we'll do anything other than anyone going out. But we'll see. What's the most important 3 points for a win or clean sheets? I don't know, mate. What do you think? I think you can build massively off a clean sheet, but really it's only the 3 points that really matters, isn't it? You know, I just don't really ever see us conceding goals. I feel like we got ball too much to give up too many chances. So I'm always confident we'll keep a clean sheet. But like we saw on Sunday, it doesn't really matter. We won 4-3, conceded 3. Defenders will probably be a bit pissed off with that the strikers have had to get them out of trouble, you know. But yeah, it don't bother me whether we keep a clean sheet or not. But I just feel like it's more of a win for that defensive unit if you get a clean sheet. But yeah, the 3 points are all that matters, as we know. And every game is different, and you get some boring games, as we've been told we've had this season, and you get games like Sunday where it's just end to end, and there's plenty a bit of a goal fest. But yeah, I think the defenders definitely, they don't get many goals and assists, but they'll wear that as like a bit of a badge of honour, I think, for week when they can keep a clean sheet, and especially if they've been up against it and they've kept a clean sheet. We don't tend to. I think we sort of ease through games, like with Strauch Road on, and often Melier don't have much to do, but that brings me to Ilya Melier, and I'm not his biggest fan. He's good for this level. He's okay for this level. He ain't gonna affect us going up this year. But he had a really good game yesterday. His distribution were better. He didn't have much to do. The chance where they went through, what Mark said earlier, and the chipped him, I think he could have done better with that, because he's really good one-on-one. Come rushing out, and when he went down a bit too early, and he dinked him. And great by Pascal Strauch. Like that was unreal. He made it look even better than it probably needed to. Way he took it, it was unreal clearance. But yeah, I feel like other than that, he didn't have much to do really, Melier, but his distribution were good. I always watch him when he's when I'm at the game to see what he's doing. And to be fair, he was very vocal last night. he were coming way out of his box, and he were talking to Rodon, screaming at Rodon and Strauch, and really try to organise, and obviously stuff to work on in training. He's definitely a voice in that side. Whether or not they trust him and listen to him, I don't know. But yeah, I felt all around it. He kept his composure, he kept his concentration, which is most important thing as a goalkeeper. Not to do for neon 85, 90 minutes, and 2 really good saves from edge of area, and then 1 really good one where he had to come out, and he was like lightning. Like got played through. I think it was Moses. Might not have been Moses. It might have been Adebayo. Maybe I think it was. Got played through, and just came out and just dispatched it. Just absolutely dispatched the chance, and I was buzzing for that. That was like scoring a goal. Because when he was through on goal there, I panic a bit. When it's 1-on-1 with Melier. I know he ain't bad 1-on-1 Melier, but it's still Melier, and we know what he's like, and he isn't the most of confident goalkeepers. He did outstanding, and then like I say, after that there were a couple of pop shots as well. One of them were a really good one as well, low down to his right and down to his left, sorry, and he tipped it away, and brilliant, absolutely brilliant, because that concentration, that lapse in concentration, which we've seen before, has cost us points. And yeah, we had a bit of a buffer. We were 2-0, I think, at that point, but still, to get a goal there, and all of a sudden you're up against it, and your back's against the wall. And we've seen before, Leeds, the ease off. And the ease off, and invite that pressure onto them. But I felt last night was the first time this season, really, we've seen close to a 90-minute performance. Like almost a 90. They had a little spell, maybe 5 minutes towards end before we got us third. And yeah, I feel like it was superb last night. We didn't rest on his laurels. We kept his foot on the gas, and we went for it time and wave after wave of attack. And yeah, it was just fantastic. Did you see Farke's presser? Like I said, it's going to be quiet in January. Yeah, he did. I don't read too much into what he says, mate, in terms of that, because he don't really give much away, Farke. He's not like Bielsa. Bielsa used to tell you team sheet, didn't he, before 3 days before we played. But yeah, I don't know. He's going to say that, and he ain't going to want people to think we're after certain targets. He ain't going to want prices to be inflated. What we do know is the 49ers work in silence. And whoever we think they're going to get, they've probably got 3 or 4 options above that they'll probably go for first. So, I don't read too much into that. He's going to play it down, and he ain't going to come out and say, yeah, we need this, and this, because whoever's playing in those positions currently are going to think, well, hold on a minute, what about me? And let's be fair, we're all sort of talking about the 10. I don't think Aronson will still be playing 10 after Christmas. I don't. And for me, he didn't play bad yesterday. He played well. I think most of the team were an 8 out of 10 last night. I think Aronson were probably a 7. I think his decision-making is what lets him down compared to the ones next to him and around him. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's playing really well, and he's a very big part of what this team does. I just think in the position of the pitch he plays, he's the weakest. And I think that's fair to say. And that's probably just going off quality, not off his work rate, obviously. But yeah, I don't think he'll get dropped as such. I just feel like there'll be a bit of rotation there at some point. He's got to get rotated at some point. He's got to. Because he don't get rotated and he plays more minutes than probably any of them. He very rarely gets subbed off. And we know now with this side, with Ramazani coming back, with Solomon in form, with Nonto doing what he's done, last couple of weeks, it looks like he's getting back into his groove, and we're going to see best out of Nonto for me coming weeks with Ramazani being back, with Dan James being unplayable on his day in this division. Who's the weakest out of that five? Bearing in mind, Dan James is probably the only one who can't play in 10. He's probably the only one you would say is an out-and-out winger. Nonto could probably play in 10. In my opinion, Ramazani could definitely play in 10. And Solomon could definitely play in 10. I'm not saying that will happen. And, I didn't get slated, but I had a few people say to me on Just Joe show, Joe sort of said he wasn't having none of it. Me and Evie sort of agreed. Luke and Joe were like, not having none of it. But it's not a case of drop Aronson because he's poor. It's more, I just feel like when everyone's fit and firing, which we're almost there now for us front players. We're almost there. Ramazani looked unreal last night. I mean, in terms of match sharpness, he looked like he was sharper than anyone on pitch when he came on. And he's only played, 8 minutes? Unreal. He doesn't look like he needs much time to build back up to match fitness, does he? But yeah, I feel like eventually he's going to get overtook by quality. And as much as people say, yeah, he's a runner, he does this, he does that. Yeah, that's great. And he's important for that role. Yeah, but we didn't have an industrious runner last season in 10. We had a flair player. We had someone who could turn game like that. You don't always need that. Like, it's like now everyone's forgot. This flair players in 10 role. You need these people that work hard and win ball back and do all ugly stuff. Yeah, that's fine. But that's Brendan's game. But it's like we've forgotten what we had beforehand. We don't. It's like we can play without Brendan in 10. We just haven't seen it yet this season. But 100% we can. But like I say, he played well last night. Decision making, he could have had a shot last night, and he tried to pass to Nonto when they were defender marking him, and he had a clear shot. I don't know what it is with his confidence sometimes when he's through on goal. He reminds me a lot of Dan James 2 years ago when he gets in and around box. Yeah, he has his moments. He scored 4 goals, brilliant return so far. Maybe a couple of assists in there as well. I just feel like he flaps a little bit when he's through on goal. If he could tidy that part of his game up, it could be outstanding. It could be, and he's still young, so he's still got time for that, hasn't he? Let's be honest. Dan James hasn't peaked yet. Another 8 years at the top with Dan James. Hopefully, mate. Hopefully. I used to always say with Dan James, Andy, when he loses his pace, he'll be done because he ain't got much else to his game. That going back maybe 18 months, 2 years. I disagree now. I think if he lost his pace, he's still got plenty to offer. He's got a good shot. His passing percentages are good. He's a very brave player. Yeah, his pace is what he relies on heavily at the minute, but his all-round game's adapted. And you look at Farker now, and he's got to get praised for that. He's got to get praised for getting best out of Dan James. 100%. I back Farker on that one. Like he's put an arm around a player there for me that were lost at Leeds United and turned him into an absolute world beater at this level. Dan James reminds me of Strachan, does he, pal? A little bit before my time. That other than odd YouTube clip, I won't comment, but I'm sure they'd love to hear that because Strachan's just an outstanding player, isn't he? Absolute outstanding player. Well, was an outstanding player. Are we saying Mellier's a Jesse Marsh work in progress? Lol. He was a work in progress a while ago. Yeah, it's an Arden, mate. It could well be a player. I think he moves on. I do. I think he moves on at the end of the year. I'd be surprised if he's here in Premier League. Because you've got to go get a number one, aren't you? Another number one. And he ain't going to want to be a number 2. And I just feel we get promoted this year as champions. We tend to keep all the players too long. Bamford, Mellier, Cooper. It's been a fair few over years. I feel like this would be the time to go. We go up as champions, move on, get a bit of value for him potentially. Because let's be fair, he's going to end season with 20 clean sheets, isn't he? And whether it's him what's done it or it's more the side, I haven't really asked. His personal stats sometimes aren't the best, but in terms of winning the league, clean sheets, it's not a bad time to move on for me. So I'd like to see Mellier move on its summer and bring in a player who's capable of playing in Premier League, who's more commanding. Someone who can come out and take a ball, someone who can win your games, when the defence switches off. That's what I want. Not digging Melly out at all. And I hope he goes and has a good career. I hope when he goes, we look back in a few years and go, we got rid of him too early. Because there's people like that. We had Capriel, and he's playing really well now, I think, in Italy. No one saw where he was going to go, and he's outstanding now. And sometimes you miss out on these players. Bogus as attacking mid went to Tenerife. I think Celtic want him now. And also, I think he went to Tenerife. No, he went to Ibiza, didn't he? Ibiza. Then he went to LA, Los Angeles FC, and he's tore it up over in America, and now he's looking to move to Celtic. I think for decent money. You're always going to have it. Leif Davis, he could fall in that bracket, and we could look back and go, "What we're doing?" Because he's still young. But we've had him a long time now, and yeah, I'd like to see us freshen up that position and bring someone else in. I don't want to keep doing the Melly experiment, And when we go up, it's going to be a difficult season. He's going to concede more goals than he does currently. So I think the highest value we'll get from Elliot, if we're ever going to move him on, would be end of this season. Watching it before, watching my Irish team, I support Sham Rovers against Rapid Vienna, the Conference League big. Oh wow, really, mate? In Europa Conference League, that is a big game for your local side, buddy. 100%. That's mint. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, mate. I'm very excited for that one. Have you got a chance in that, mate, or is it going to be? Have you got no chance, or could you spring a surprise there, Sean? Let me know. Sean, I'm saying they get beat 3 or 4. Well, yeah, there you go. Thanks, Danny. Pretty cool. I love your banters. And Ramazani won't be starting on Saturday. No, I don't think he'll start on Saturday either, Danny. But I think he'll get the subs. The amount of minutes we normally do with his wingers. So I expect Ramazani to maybe come on at around 70. And then for me, after that, he's ready. He'll be ready to play against, I think it's Derby next game after that, innit? Can't wait. Derby and Middlesbrough. Can't wait for them 2 games. I'd be all over you if they win playing Chelsea, but just Christmas in London. Just before Christmas in London. Wow. Let's go. Mark Sutherland, we need a 9 who can score 20 goals a season. Yeah, but where are they at, Mark? Where are they at? We say it every year, don't we? That's what everyone's looking for. Everyone's always looking for that. They just cost massive money. It's hard to get. Sometimes you can fall lucky. You would have thought Sammy Schmodic would have got bloody 30 goals or whatever at Blackburn last year. Sometimes you just fall lucky and someone has a break like through a year, but it costs a lot of money. It costs so much money, and it's still not guaranteed. And to go up in, next season in Prem, we're going to struggle to get a 20 goal a season man. I think in this division, you'd like to think we had someone who'd do it. I actually think Pido might get that. I really do. I think Pido's probably a man. He's going to get closest to that. And when you consider what he's on already, for minutes he's played, he hasn't played nowhere near. Minutes he'd maybe have played somewhere else. If he'd started every game and not picked up an injury, he'd probably played double minutes he's got now, and he's got a hell of a lot of goals. So he might get 20 goals, but yeah, obviously I'd love to get a 9 that would get you 20, but yeah, it's a difficult one. I don't see him bringing a 9 in January. I've seen a lot of people mention that, and I don't really see it. I don't think we'll do out in January unless we lose anyone. Whoever we lose, we'll replace. I'd like us to be nice if say we sent out Joffrey on loan. It'd be nice to bring in a 10 who plays that sort of role, but someone who's a starter, someone who can push base. I don't just bring a Joffrey replacement in terms of someone who's just going to be a squad option and let's be fair, not play just for numbers. I'd love them to go get someone who's going to impact the starting lineup, replace Joffrey as a body, but replace him in more than what Joffrey's currently doing. Mark, getting a striker that scores 20, that's going to be about 60 million. Yeah, it can be, Kai. I mean, we spent how much on Rodrigo, and he got nowhere near. And he 30 million or something, and he got nowhere near. So you've just got to be wise. I mean, let's be fair, Mark. Yeah, there'll be a Tanaka out there who's a striker. There'll be someone like that, we can pick up for next to note. It's just your scouting. You got to get your scouting right, and I think Leeds have. We've been at Red Bull infrastructure. I think they've definitely got fingers in all sorts of pies now. They've got eyes everywhere, and we've got to be accepting as a fan base of some names maybe coming in who we've not heard of, and just trust the board that they'll get it right. And like I say with Tanaka, I know we sort of knew Tanaka this season because we were linked with him a lot last season, but Tanaka playing in Bundesliga too, which is a joke that he were even ever going to stay in that division, like as if he were playing in there early season. But yeah, someone like Tanaka, there'll be a striker version of that. There'll be every position you can want in your side. There'll be these top players out there somewhere. It's just having the right network of scouting to tap into those markets and and get them to our club. And ultimately, while ever we're in Championship or low end Premier League, you're always going to potentially be a stepping stone. You've seen that with your Rafinhas and things like that. It is what it is. We've got to as a club be brave and make these signings and back yourself to do well and get up that division and really put a marker down that we've got a plan, and it's a realistic plan. Stabilise and build on it, and make these players want to stay at Leeds. Burnley qualified for the Premier League with 7 games to spare. Would it be boring if Leeds did something similar? We'd be on the beach twiddling thumbs. Yeah, we probably would. I'm a bit of a sicko, me, Andy. I quite enjoyed the playoffs last year, and everyone goes, "Oh, I hate playoffs." I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed going to Wembley. My dream whenever I watched Leeds win at Wembley, my dream was to watch Leeds at Wembley, and I did that. And what will be, will be. And I come out, I'm disappointed. Next day I wake up and I've got a smile on my face because what I've experienced. And right, let's see how you play for adversity, and let's go again. Let's have another good year. I'm not one of them, mate, who's like that. So for me, I don't mind if it goes down to wire. I'll take 7 games, but I think there's going to be. I sort of feel like we're going to. I don't think we're going to create a Leicester gap at any point in the season, but I expect us to, have a gap by Christmas by maybe 6 points, and I think we'll end season definitely a couple of wins above everybody else with a nice gap, and I feel like we'll coast into those last couple of games already up me. Yeah, I do, but I asked either way. Whatever it is, mate, I'll be there for it, and I'll have a smile on my face regardless. Hopefully, we have a loan from Celtic. John Kenny up front, he'd have been class. Hopefully, we had a lad on loan from Celtic. All right, okay. Hopefully, you win tonight, pal. I'll double check score later to keep tabs on it. After Saturday, we'll have a 7-day break to get everyone fit and raring to go. Yeah, which is good in it. After 3 games in 6 days, it's been mental. But luckily, at the minute, mate, everyone's coming through unscathed out there. I know Byron went off with his tweaked his hamstring. I think he said today in presser. He's having a scan on it, but Firpo's back anyway Saturday, I would imagine either way. Although I do like how Byron's played, as I've touched on earlier on in video, like he's outstanding. And if it weren't for fitness, it'd be challenging Firpo for me. And Firpo's one of his best players as well. Just goes to show, some of these players you can't write off, and a lot of people wrote Byron off. Please smash a like on video. If you haven't already, it's free to do. Just click it. Much appreciated. Thank you. Lets people know that I'm on and try and spread word a bit more. And subscribe if you haven't already, please. It means a lot to me. Don't think Pido will cut in the Prem. I don't, mate. I think he'll be a bench option in Prem. I've sort of gone from thinking he's a bench option now to maybe double downing on that, like going back on that. And yeah, I sort of want to see Pido start again, to be fair, on Saturday. But yeah, I don't think in Prem he'll start. He'll be a squad option, which is fine, because we've seen what he does as a squad option when he comes off a bench, so it's brilliant. Yeah, and where UCD Sunday League ball versus Dog and Douglas. Where are we now? We need to be in the Japanese and Korean leagues for some players. Mate, honestly, Celtic do it all the time, don't they? Celtic do it all the time. Look at Japanese market and stuff. Thing is, so much talent out there. Pick them up at good prices. And just tapping into the market, the merchandise you can sell. Someone like Tanaka's so marketable in here for Leeds United. We get to Premier League, you've got someone like Tanaka in your squad, absolutely bossing it. Sell shirts around the world, on it. You know what I mean? It's just such a massive market to tap into for marketing reasons as well as football reasons. And yeah, honestly, I think we've got one. I think we've got the best one there. I mean, I think he's absolutely outstanding. How the hell did we get him for 3 million? We'll be up by marks. The others will just give up and bugger off. Hey up, Lord. Nice for you being there. Thank you for commenting. I can't disagree. Who knows? Who knows, mate? I'm more confident than anybody I know, mate. I think we'll be up nice and early. Whether it's, like I say, closer or not, I'm not really asked. But yeah, I don't feel like we're at top. I don't see us falling away. I think we'll stay top rest of the season, and I don't think we'll lose at Elland Road for the rest of the year. Bold claim. I don't think we'll lose at Elland Road this year now. I think that's it. Middlesbrough is the only one I'm nervous of, but I don't think we'll get beat. It might be one. I know they just lost over there, so you can be quite reactive to something that's just happened. And before that, a lot of Leeds fans were saying, "Oh, it's a tough game. We might get beaten." Middlesbrough won. Now a few people are changing their minds on that. It'll still be a tricky game. Middlesbrough coming to Leeds. That's the only game that worries me. But I honestly, I don't think we'll get beat this year now. Burnley shouldn't have even beat us, let's be honest. And it's not a ridiculous thing to say when you think we went nearly all season last year until Blackburn game, didn't we? 2 games left and we lost them both. But until that point, we were unbeaten in 20. So yeah, I think we'll get beat at Elland Road. Really don't. Lord, by April for me. Yeah, maybe. You know I'm always right, Shawnee boy. Pero definitely not a problem player for me. No, I assume this is Darren, not Dillo. Dillo won't be having none of that. Matty, we've seen your ball claims. Keep it calm. Blackburn, 7,000 Leeds fans at Blackburn on Saturday. 7-0. Yeah, I just lose myself in moment, don't I? And just, waffle on loads of shite. If Leeds are that good, for once, I want a decent FA Cup run. Get those juices flowing. I'm sick of disrespecting the cup. Yeah, no, it is. A lot of people disrespect the cup, don't they? It was something I always loved as a kid growing up, and it's sort of been diluted, hasn't it, unfortunately. But no, we always say, well, I don't, but a lot of people say when you're challenging for topper, for promotion and top up championship, you can do without the distractions. We're already out of League Cup, so why not go on a bit of an FA Cup? It's not like we're having to fight on all fronts, is it? So I think the team's good enough. Yeah, the squad for me can definitely facilitate playing deep into an FA Cup, and we top at championship. We should be able to mix it and go far. Yeah, unless you draw one at big boys, you never know. You could always have an upset, but you'd have to back yourself. Apart from those Prem sides, we're next big thing in all other divisions. So why can't we have a FA Cup run? I'd love to see it. I don't feel like it'd be a distraction. Why has it got to be a distraction? Why can't we have a good run? Like I say, I think we'll go up. Why not try and have a good FA Cup run as well? Why not? It gives it gives some fans opportunity to get to games and stuff. I mean, we've been on general sale last 3 games, haven't they, at Liverpool? So fans are getting more chance to go this season. For whatever reason, I don't know. But it's nice to have an FA Cup run, 100%. I'd love them saying, yeah, you're right there, mate. A lot of people do disrespect the cup, and yeah, it's always been a big part of football calendar. Whenever I was growing up, and it's diluted. It's just a shame because it gives, down that football pyramid, it gives a lot of smaller clubs, and clubs that are in the local communities of places, and and everything to those people, just like Leeds is to us. But some of these places are, the only thing keeping some towns and that going, and you need that money. And yeah, I feel like people should take it more seriously than they do, pal. So that's a really good comment, that, Andy. Thanks for bringing that up, mate. Hey up easy, mate. Hope you've had a good day, buddy. Pino is much better with Ayo and Ruffle in midfield. We are much more creative with that. Yeah, 100%. 100%. You can see, can't you, the difference in how he plays with them too. What I found, what we've seen a lot is when Ampadu and Gruever there, the amount of times there's a run by Pido or run by one of wingers behind the defence, and you can see Ampadu, and he don't put his foot over it, he don't put his foot on it, and he just turns and passes it sideways. And what you've seen a lot more with Rothwell and Tanaka in there, they play that ball. All last season, we hardly ever saw a ball up the top. Very rare. Tried it against Peterborough. Bamford scores a worldie. Tried it against, I can't remember what it was, in Premier League, in Championship, and Rutter went from 1 goal and scored. It's just very rare, though. Very, very rare did we ever try that ball over the top. This season, with these two, they're doing it week in, week out now, and they've got such a good range of passing. And I feel like that's why you see like the best version of Pirro when these two are playing. Do I think Pirro still drifts in and out of games? Yeah, I do. But yesterday proved, he's better in this system this season than he was last season. And yesterday proved that no matter how the game's going, no matter if he's in and out of the game or not, when the ball falls to him, he buries it. And I don't know if you saw it at the beginning of it, but I've sort of changed my tune on that one. And I've always said I fancy Joseph to start for obvious reasons, and Pirro to come on just because factually, like stats wise, and that, even though I'm not massive on stats, it's more the eye test. It's the best combination. We've got the best results out of that combination. Yeah, I've sort of reverted now. I think Pirro should be starting, and it's up to Joseph now. We need to do what Pirro's done. It's up to Joseph now to come on for 20 minutes because he's going to come on every game because he tends to set 65, 70 plus. He brings a lot of forward players on and mixes up because he's got that much talent now. He's got to back his bench, and you can see he trusts his bench now this season. You are going to see Joseph come on. He's never not going to come on. It's up for him to come on in it and get the goals at Pirro, and I'm sure you'll agree with that. He needs to now do what Pirro were doing when Joseph was starting. It's up to him. It's up to him. No one else can do it now because Pirro's been doing it now, and I can't say no more than that, really. There will be 6 or 7 changes at least when we go. Maybe, mate. Someone's touched on that already tonight. Needs to be a decent number. I think they'll go 4 or 5, but with a couple maybe leaving, it might be 6 or 7. I don't think there'll be 6 or 7 starters though. I think most of this side, when you look at it, Mez won't play in Prem. Firpo, maybe, I don't know. Aronson won't, and I don't think Pinner will start. So I think like in the 11, there'll be 4 changes, potentially 3 or 4 in the starting 11. I feel like a lot of them players will play in Premier League. But yeah, as a squad, we probably need a couple more numbers anyway. So I'd like to see us bring at least 6 in. But God knows what they're going to do. They're just moving silence, don't you? You don't get no sense of what they're going to do. And yeah, we'll see. But hopefully they build a squad good enough, mate, to consolidate and then kick on from there. Because I don't want to become a yo-yo club. I don't believe we will become a yo-yo club, but it's up to the board to sort that out and make sure we don't be. They tell you it's not easy. They tell you that it's hard. They tell you foot is better with Via fucking we could sign Tanaka and put him in a song. Did a lot of times we were shy and we were strong. I like that, Scooby. That's class. That's class. I ain't going to sing it though, and I can see music notes. I might sing that after final pint tomorrow. I like that, buddy. Have you done that yourself, mate, or is that already a chant? Middlesbrough aren't good enough to get top 2. Watford are a danger, mate. Watford are weird, aren't they? Under Cleverly, I just thought they've got some all right players, some really experienced players. Been around block. Cleverly ain't got it. He ain't doing bad because that ain't the best side. It's not a bad side. They've got some talented players, but fair play to Cleverly. He's doing really well with them. Middlesbrough won't get top 2, no. Too inconsistent. Can batter someone one week and then lose, a week after. But they're going to be in conversation for playoffs, aren't they? And Carrick's a good manager. They're worrying me for our one-off fixture at Elland Road. They do worry me, but we'll have to see. Cup runs can endure as well if we get players injured. It could be desperate. Yeah, I know that, mate. Yeah, it's more games, it's more workload, obviously. I just feel like it'd be nice to have a bit of a run. I don't expect us to get to no finals, but it'd be nice to, go on a bit of a run and maybe get a Premier side. I'd love to see currently this side before we go up and before we make changes. I'd love to see a fully fit Leeds side against a West Ham, against a Bournemouth, against even a big boy. I'm not asked, but it'd be nice to see someone, in that mid-range Premier League sort of where they are in table and look at it and go, I reckon these lads could match these. Because I genuinely do. Maybe I'm warped, but it'd be nice to see. But yeah, I know what you mean with injuries. You're always massive on injuries, aren't you, Danny? What is you sick with injuries, thinking, they need to watch out. But yeah, injuries are going to happen anyway. We've had people like Bamford get injured on a fucking celebration, mate. It is what it is. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Evening, a work in progress, needs a couple more lines. Nah, it's quite good, that, Scooby. Let me know when it's finished. I like that. And then I might sing it on Final Pint. If we win FA Cup, we can play European football next year when we're in the Prem. Imagine that, mate. Has that ever happened before? Has that ever happened? Has anyone ever won it in Championship? And stayed in, actually, has anyone ever won it in Championship? But stayed in Championship, or won it in Prem and gone down to Championship, or played in Europe while in Championship? Has that ever happened? Has there ever been a European team in the Championship, if that makes sense? Let me know in chat. I'm intrigued with that, actually. I don't care about the FA Cup. Don't want to end up like Coventry. No, I know, but we're a better side than Coventry. We're a better side than Coventry, mate. There's no way with a cup run. I mean, they went far as well. Like, I don't know we'll go that far, but it'd be nice to not get knocked out in first round as well, Louise. It'd be nice to, win a couple of games. Maybe get to fourth round, maybe a quarter final. But I don't envision just getting as deep as Coventry did. But we have got a better side than them. We have better managers as well. 40 years ago, players wanted to win the FA Cup. Now it's the League and European Cup. I do appreciate the League is tough over many months. Cups are one off now. Yeah, they are out there. I understand, mate. Lord Shiogov says, goalkeeper, I agree. Left back, agree. 9, 10 and a must. Yeah, and I suppose centre half as well, mate. We already like that, aren't we? Yeah, that. I didn't say centre half, but yeah, 100% we need centre half as well. And let's be fair, I think Boba goes, so I think we get 2. Firpo still not signed his extension. No, it's something they need to be looking at that because he can sign a pre-agreement in January. He can start talking to the other side, so it needs to be addressed that. I'd like to see him stay, but I'd also like him to go out and get a really good established left back somewhere, maybe a European side, bring someone in and have 2 of them vying out for that shirt. But I think Firpo, I think you see a different Firpo. I think you see a different Dan James in Premier League. I feel like they've improved under Farker. They've got, especially with Firpo, he's definitely got to groups of English game now. He can do it all for me. I think you'll see a different Firpo. Yeah, he's always going to have question marks against his one-on-one defending. He's going to be playing against his Salahs of this world, and your Cole Palmer's is some outstanding plays out on that right. But I feel like he'll be a lot better now, and we're not as bad, we're not as open as we were before. We just weren't. I'm sure easy. Them European nights at Elland Road are out of this world. Yeah, they are. But we aren't going to win no FA Cup at minute, pal. But yeah, it'd be nice to go deep into it for me. I'd like to Tanaka chant. Yeah, mate, keep going with them, mate. I love a good chant and a bit of a rhyme, me, mate. I've heard if Firpo doesn't sign a contract, he could be gone in January. I don't think they'll do that, mate. It's too much of a big key player to lose Jan, innit? We will get about 9 new players in the Premier League because we'll have a new manager. He said this all the time. We won't have a new manager. We won't have a new manager, mate. No way do we have a new manager. Easy, we will have a new manager. Maybe just before Christmas. Nope, no chance. Wow, Lampard has been appointed to Coventry. How does he get jobs like this? It's a decent job, is Coventry. Unbelievable. Somerville, Strauch and Pro was mine too. And are you joking? Will that your chant that? Somerville, Strauch and Pro. And I like it, I like it, I like it, I like it. Whoa. Was that actually your chant? You put the wheels in motion at that one, School, because that would have belted that. That was absolutely belting that. Wigan wasn't it? A Millwall, I think. Yeah. I think I do remember Millwall, actually. Now you say that, pal. I remember that. Norwich did the League Cup and got relegated many, many years ago. I did the mate. Yeah, I always wondered that, to be fair, if there ever been anyone outside Prem playing in Europe. But I do remember Millwall. Don't remember. Wigan, I think you're right with that as well. Were they United Prem when they did that? I remember did they win it as well? I don't remember Norwich, mate. But yeah, it's interesting that. No, because we need to be the top 4. Yeah. Last team to win the FA Cup and stay in the lower leagues was Spurs in 1888. Look at you. Facts, spitting facts. I banged in Just Joe's chant. Got another. Can't bring it to mind. Banged it in Just Joe's chat. Got another. Can't bring it to mind. Buzzing, mate. Keep them coming. I love all that stuff, mate. I love it. I'll try and get it going in stadium. I've got a mouth big enough. I wonder if Sunderland beating Leeds in 1973 FA Cup. They played in the Cup winners. They didn't get promoted. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure. I love this chat though. I love how just engaged you are in chat. I love it. And if I don't know something, you always tell me, which helps because I don't know a lot of stuff. Man of the match, I say yes. Sam Byron. Outstanding one, mate. Arthur, thanks for being here, mate. Smash a like and subscribe if you're not already. Yeah, Byron, mate, so undervalued by sections of this fan base. So undervalued. Such a good player. I think Danny Dicchio was playing for Millwall at the time. You know, Danny Dicchio. Not quite finished. Nearly there. Keep it going, buddy. Keep it going. So yeah, last point really I want to touch on is obviously Farker in general. I just want to go and just say Farker, you've got to look at him now. And I know Easy's in chat and Easy's always maintained that he won't be managers in the Prem. You know, he'll move on before that. Whether we win the league by a decent margin or not, you know, he thinks he won't be here. And I disagree, and I hope a lot of people disagree with that because, you know, he deserves a shot when he gets us up, when he gets us promoted. He is, mate. You don't know how bad it is yet. He's having a scan. It's only I think a pull down string. Not major. I think with more precaution. Took him out, but he ain't going to be starting next game in here because Firpo's backhandy. So, but yeah, I think Farker deserves massive credit. I feel like he's getting it right now more often than he's getting it wrong. I feel like his team selection's been bang on last few weeks. His subs, what he gets absolutely slated for at times, you know, more the timings of the subs rather than the actual substitutes himself. But he's getting it right. He's getting it right a lot more than he gets it wrong. And I think that's 8 or 9 goals now from substitutes when they've come on pitch. So he's making the right subs. He's making them at the right time, then impacting game. You know, and I don't think he can do much more than what he's doing. We're top of league now, and. Do we really see a slipping away? Do we really see any? Is there any signs of that team, that performance yesterday that you see where you think you're worried about anything? Got a little bit of a worry on Sunday. We're conceding 3, but I maintained on Sunday, and after that was a bit of an outlier. We're not going to concede that amount of goals every game. That's the area of the pitch we don't have to worry about is the defence, and that showed again yesterday. Another clean sheet to back up. You know what I mean? And Farker's done incredible stuff with this side. I know we didn't go up last year, and a lot of people say we should have gone up. But look at the turmoil they were in last year. He turned it round. He got us a side on the grass last season that were competitive. You could now, when you look back, you could see the holes that were missing. You know, you could see there were definitely a lot of areas of that side that had gaps in. Mainly the bench. Didn't trust the players. You know, when I look back, who really, when you look back there, could you really bring on? You know, Jade Anthony probably could have got more minutes, yeah. But underneath that, he didn't really have much, to be honest. He didn't really have much at all. Bamford had a spell where he played, yeah. Pino, Joseph, a little bit. He could have maybe played him a bit more, but maybe he wasn't ready. Don't like he's fully ready now, does he? So maybe last year he definitely wants. So for me, I think Farker, now he's got the squad he wants. He's missing a 10. He was vocal about wanting a 10. He hasn't got the 10. Maybe they go do that in January. Maybe they don't. I don't think they need to. I think they've got enough. We'll see, what the board think about that. But in general, I don't know what more Farke can do. I really don't. And I know a lot of people think it's more progression when we go up. He won't take us, to that next level. I think the next level for now is just consolidating and having that next season. I think he's more than capable to do that if he's backed. And then after that, yeah, maybe then it's time for him to move on. A couple of years later. But I think he's doing fantastic. I really do. I absolutely love Farke at the minute. I think I've got a team now who I look at and I love them all. I'm falling in love with a lot of these players, like I did with Bielsa. In terms of the players and the way they play and the way we're all sort of with them again after that Premier League. That ended in Premier League, and we all sort of left a sour taste in mouth. We had a lot of players who didn't like wearing his shirt. Sort of gone full circle again now, and I'm absolutely in love with everyone at club again now. I absolutely love him a bits. Oh, Farke for England. Yeah. Farke is unknown in the Prem. He ran Norwich on 80p and Delia Smith Balding. Yeah, exactly, mate. He didn't get back to all there, did he, mate? So it'd be nice for us to back him and let him have a real go in Prem this time. I think if we had gone up last season, we wouldn't have been as equipped. No, I agree, mate, 100%. We'd have been struggling this season if we'd have gone up with that side. I do believe it. I feel like that squad last season needed thickening out, which I feel like it's thickened out now. I feel like we had some quality in certain areas, and underneath that quality, it was at a minimum, really. Where now I feel like it's just a fuller squad. There's more depth in every area. And like I say, we go up and we sign 5, 6, 7 added to that. I feel like we've got a really good baseline now for a Premier League club. How much is Bamford worth? Just his contract, mate. I ain't bothered for any money for him. It's just getting his wages off a bill for me. I don't think you're going to get much for him. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get much for him. I wouldn't even like to put a value on him. 5 mil. I don't think he's worth out, mate, because of injuries. I really don't. I feel like it's hard to get someone to pay his wages, let alone pay a transfer fee, Mark. I really aren't sure on his value. It's hard to say. Really hard to say. If we finish 17th next season, I'll bite your hand off. Well, I'll bite your hand off, but it's going to be a torrid road. If we finish 17th, there'll be a lot of digging out on social media. It'll be a dark place if we finish 17th because we've lost most weeks. But yeah, right now you take 17th and build on it again. Finishing 9th in your first season in Premier League just sets expectations too high, doesn't it? Which we were never able to get anywhere near after that. £2.33. You can come again, buddy. You're on my wavelength. Right then, guys. Anyway, as always, when I do a live, we always go off down all these little alleyways rather than talking about game. But I'm going to call it a night because at 9 o'clock, so I've got 15 minutes rest, and then I'm on the Just Joe football show for the final word over there. Love being on that show. Really lucky that he's took me under his wing and helping me along my YouTube journey. So I get to enjoy being with him and whoever else is on panel tonight over there at 9 o'clock. So anyone in here, if you don't already, which I doubt, Mark, you might not be someone I work with, go over and watch Just Your Football Show. I'll be on there later with it. Whoever the panel is, it's always brilliant. And I know everybody else in chat will know anyways, is one of the best in the game. So yeah, if we can get 7 mil for Bamford, that's our money back. Yeah, true, Danny, but I don't think it's even worth that much. But anyway, smash a like on video, please. Thanks so much for dropping in, mate. Really nice to have you in chat. And yeah, smash a like, please subscribe. And everyone take care. It's been a busy week and it's only going to get busier. I've got the final pint tomorrow night on my channel. Just keep a lookout. I'll put something in on YouTube tomorrow in terms of time. It could be 8, it could be 9. I'm not too sure. But yeah, we'll have to see on time tomorrow. I'll confirm with all the Leeds bros. But yeah, the final pint tomorrow. So grab a beer. It's a Friday night, and we'll talk about this game for one last time before we move on to the Blackburn game. Busy. Honestly, 3 games in 6 days is nuts. Absolutely nuts for someone who works full time and has a family and then tries to do this alongside it. It's so difficult. But I tell you what, I absolutely love it. Great for my mental health. Great for just getting to new friends, chatting to you guys. I absolutely love interaction. Thanks so much again for everyone being in here. Andy Rowe, Jack City's live now. He's a good one too. I love Jack. But yeah, take care. Thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank everyone. Bye-bye.